this weekend we have what is called Sign Up Sunday. And it has nothing to do with volunteering for anything, okay? You don't have to volunteer for anything. Sign Up Sunday is a way to inform us again on a yearly basis normally of just things that take place in our parish that feed our souls in ways that help us live the Catholic faith and witness to Jesus Christ better in our daily life. Most of us, maybe not all of us, most of us, myself at least, I need help growing into the likeness of Jesus Christ. I need help living my Catholic faith day by day by day by day, aiming toward the goal of heaven, but sharing Christ here on earth. The readings today, all three reflect the difficulty at times of living our faith. Second reading, you got the writer of Hebrew. He says, run the race to heaven. Run the race. This is tough to do. It is difficult to run the race constantly, giving witness to Jesus Christ. And yet that is what the writer of Hebrews, what God says in his writings. Most of us, in running the race to heaven, now this is no slam. I'm in this group. Most of us are pretty fat, sloppy, overweight, and ignorant about our Catholic faith. That's a reality, and that's why it's so difficult running. There used to be a day in my life where I could run a marathon, okay? I can't even run a block anymore. Thankfully, that's not as important as my spiritual life. I like to think I have grown to run the race better as the years go on. But I'm still at times a spiritual couch potato. And I need to remind myself, I need to get back in shape. I need to feed my soul with the encouragement of one another, through knowledge, through prayer, to know I can become stronger. He then says, not just run the race, but keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. That's difficult to do because we're all so busy. Ask yourself your question, have I in the past week, in a good way, mentioned the greatest love of my life, namely Jesus Christ, to someone? Have I done that? Have I kept my face, my presence fixed on Jesus? With children, with spouses, with work, with cell phones, with texting, with shopping, with events. And then even with our sinfulness coming in there. It's tough to focus on Jesus. And yet again, that second reading says, run the race, fix your eyes on Jesus as you're running and dealing with people. Again, it's encouraging us. It's not hitting us over the head. It's encouraging us. Try to do this. And then you got the gospel. This was Deacon Jim last weekend. He said, there is division in the world. There are the godly and the godless. And there's struggle there. And the Lord again says, expect that, but in that process, be strong in your faith. That's why we have to feed our soul again. And finally, the first reading, you got Jeremiah. Jeremiah is being mocked for being a follower of God. And he's being persecuted for being a follower of God. And they take him and they throw him into a pit. And they say, forget about him. They finally feed him. But they sort of say, forget about him. All of this stuff is saying stuff that we, as followers of Christ, need to say, I need to feed my soul to stay strong in following Jesus Christ. So back to this. Sign Up Sunday. There's a little sheet of paper in the pews. If you would pass that out to anyone 5th grade on up. 5th grade on up. I need to see movement. I want to see people putting those sheets out. Now you may also, if you wish, and you promise not to look at weather radar or stuff like that, you may take out your cell phone to do this at this time if you want. You can take out your cell phone because most of this stuff is texting if you want to text to get information. Now I'm going to run through all this real quickly. It's important to realize if you wish information about this or you text one of these activities to feed our soul, you are not signing up for it. You are not signing up for it. This is a way for you to get information about it, when it may start, what it is, or if you have questions about it. Okay, that's important. If you're like me, I still have no idea. I have never, the instructions here, text any of these quadrant codes to receive updates. I honestly, truly have no idea what they mean. I've never done it. Next year when I do this talk, I'll probably say I've never done it still. I use the bottom part. If I want information, I fill out the bottom part of this sheet, I put it in the offertory, welcome center, drop it off at the office. Okay? So here we go, real quick. To feed our soul in different ways. If you are an artsy person, you like to work with art or crafts, but you don't want to do it all by yourself. Once a month, there's a group who meet. You bring your artsy, craftsy stuff to this meeting. Together, you do stuff. And you get support from one another and things like that. Just a nice little thing. If you're interested, text crafts. Best Years Club. This is people 50 years and up who just like to get together on a monthly basis to eat and play cards. Eat and play cards, pretty darn easy, but again, another community builder thing. BYC is what you text. Bible study. We have 2 Bible studies, 2 main ones during the year. If you want to know when they're taking place, I think they're 6 weeks long. If you want to know when they're taking place, what they're going to be talking about, stuff like that, just text BIB. Christ Renews His Parish. The CHIRP program. Next week we'll have a video on it. But again, this is twice a year. Men and women are invited to take part in a weekend retreat. Adult choir, contemporary choir, hand chime choir. He who sings prays twice. If the person next to you sang the opening hymn well, nudge him and say, text that, one of those, to a choir. Text that, get more information. How can they be in the choir? In a few weeks, you get a free seat up here if you decide to be part of the choir. The one thing is 3. The one thing is 3 book study. Some of you have heard of Father Gately. Father Gately has a powerful influence upon the United States of just different themes about growing closer to God. And this theme is on the Trinity. How to better understand the Trinity and bring it into our life more. If you're interested in that, text the word 3. Divine Mercy Prayer Group takes place on Friday, the Divine Mercy Chapel. Eucharistic Exposition every Tuesday over in the chapel all day long. Marian Consecration. I encourage all of you to text or find out about Marian Consecration, because as a parish, what I'm hoping to do, as a parish on December 8th, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, I'm hoping that we're going to consecrate the entire parish to the Blessed Virgin Mary. So again, if you want to get upfront information on that, text Marian. Mary and Martha Ladies Prayer Group for ladies takes place on Monday. After the 9 o'clock Mass, they get together to pray for intentions that they know of. Mary Our Mother Moms Group. Whoop, I skipped one there. The Men's Morning Group. Men's Morning Group. This is Rob Slocum who watches over this. A bunch of men gather down in a meeting room down there every Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. Father Lewis is often there. And basically they discuss a book or something about the faith. And they get free donuts in the process. But there's a great group of men who gather. If you need some spiritual encouragement from other men, this is tremendous. Old men's basketball. Now, believe it or not, Father Thomas, as young as he is, he has already played in the old men's basketball and things like that. It is for those 18 and up, even though they call it old men, 18 and up. More information, text that OMB. Prayer Blanket Ministry. This is a beautiful ministry. There's a group of ladies who get together to make blankets. And these blankets we bless, put a prayer card on them. We bring them to the homebound, the hospitalized, hospice, those who are dying, those who are sick within our parish. And basically, we're covering them with our prayers. The prayers of the parish cover these people. So it's a beautiful ministry. Oh, let's see. RCIA for non-Catholics. You've heard about that over the past few weeks. If you're interested in learning about the Catholic faith or becoming Catholic, Rekindle the Fire takes place once a month. It's for men. Rosary making group. If you want to learn how to make rosaries, once a month they gather to learn that skill, and they then pray the rosary also during that meeting. If you love your spouse, okay, if you are married and you love your spouse, everyone then should text date night, the SALT program. SALT takes place just twice a year, where men and women get together who are married, and they just encourage one another in their married life. It's beautiful. It takes place in the parish hall. Again, encourage you. It's a non-threatening, really strengthening, feeding our soul and living our faith well. Small faith community takes place twice a year. 6 weeks is all it is, covering a book. They're going to cover a book. They're going to learn about stuff. Again, a good way to feed our soul. Children's choir takes place weekly during the school year. Little Flowers Girls Group is a fun little group. 1st grade through 5th grade girls learn about it. It takes place, I'm not sure how often it takes place. It's not written here in front of me. Children's Liturgy of the Word, soon to start up here, 9:30 Mass. Little Children Holy Hour on Tuesday, 11 to 12. Teen groups, contemporary choir, if you wish to take part in the contemporary choir, they sing at the 4 o'clock Mass on Sunday. Hand chime choir takes place during the school year. The youth activities. If you are a 6th grader through 12th grade, 6th grade through 12th grade, Fidelis is for the young men, Fidelis is for the young women, Fraternus is for the young men. And that's a very vibrant group. And our high school youth group will be starting in September. Again, more information. This form is in the bulletin if you want to look it over when you get home. Also, you should have gotten an email on Tuesday, a flock note email that also has this information. Again, I do this so that we all know what's going on in our parish, so that we can all feed our soul. Or maybe you know someone who really is searching, and one of these things would help them, encourage them in some way. Okay? So again, do our best to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus in the race toward heaven, but be encourage one another. And let's stand as we proclaim our creed.